Hey guys, Gretchen here with Classy Fitness. Thank you so much for joining in. I tried going live. I don't know what happened. I guess my internet's being shoddy, so we're going old school video today. But anyways, let's get into it. I don't know if you joined in, I guess it was 2 days ago now, where I started talking about ways in which we can reconcile our faith and our fitness together and how the two can actually be very complementary and help each other out in our lives. Well, today I want to continue that, and today we're going to move into saints. Now, as a convert, saints were not something that I was brought up understanding or really familiar with at all. It's only as I have grown more in my faith and gotten to know some of the saints that I have seen just how amazing their intercession truly can be in our lives. And just the other day, my husband lost his cell phone, his work phone. And it had been like 2 days. It was over a weekend. And we had searched the house everywhere. Now we're in the middle of a move. So we have like boxes and bags and stuff all over the place. The house is just an absolute disaster. So the idea of trying to find this phone was just needle in a haystack type thing, right? And we had searched and searched, and the kids had searched, and I felt like we had like opened every box and bag, and no luck at all. So we're convinced it either got thrown away or maybe it was packed in the pod. And it all came to a head one evening after we put the kids to bed, and he was rightfully so kind of getting in this frenzy of, I've got to find my phone. And I walked into the other room and I just said, oh, St. Christopher, please help us find his phone. And no joke. I mean, literally, I had not finished asking St. Christopher for his intercession. And my husband goes, oh, there it is. It was sitting on top of a box that we had to have walked past 200 times in the last couple of days, right? And it's just sitting right there on top, and picks it up and goes about. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. And then it dawns on me, like, I totally asked the wrong saint for help, right? I mean, St. Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. I should have been talking to St. Anthony, who typically helps us find lost articles. But I truly don't believe that the saints are limited or boxed into just helping, whatever their patronage is. I think that they are such powerful intercessors and truly are wanting us to be our best, and they're wanting to support us and help us in our walk with God. That, I mean, anything that they can do to support us and help us out, they will. I'm sure it might have like given St. Christopher a little chuckle that I was asking him, but boy, did he deliver. So let's move on and talk about some saints that we can use to inspire us and to encourage us in our fitness lives as well as our faith lives. And I think the logical place to start, obviously, is Saint Sebastian, the patron of athletes, right? Now, he's the saint that we usually see depicted tied to a stake with his body just covered in arrows. And so I did a little searching because, truth be told, that was about all I knew of Saint Sebastian for today. So he has a really, really cool story, which I'm excited to share with you guys today. So Saint Sebastian was, he lived in about the 3rd century. He was born to nobility, and he became a Roman soldier. Now, he saw all of the Christians he was Christian, and he saw all of the Christians being persecuted and thought that he could go into the Roman army kind of undercover and convert Romans from the inside. So he starts converting Roman prisoners, Roman soldiers, and eventually a Roman governor, which leads to him being discovered by the Roman emperor and sentenced to death by being tied to a stake in the middle of a field and shot full of arrows. Now, miraculously, St. Sebastian lives. He survives this target practice with the arrows and is taken down off of the stake by Saint Irene of Rome. And Saint Irene secretly nurses him back to health. And the first thing Saint Sebastian does when he's nursed back to health is go right back to the Roman emperor who sentenced him to death in the first place and start evangelizing to him. I mean, that's just, what an incredible man, right? And so, of course, the Roman emperor, obviously surprised at seeing him alive, sentenced him to death again, and so he is martyred a second time. This time he is ordered to be beaten to death with clubs and then thrown into the sewer, and unfortunately he is martyred the second time. Now, why a patron saint of athletes, but more importantly, how can we as moms maybe look to Saint Sebastian for inspiration and guidance as we go about our daily struggles? Well, there's a couple reasons. First of all, clearly Saint Sebastian is a brilliant example of energy and endurance. I mean, and as moms, that's two traits that I know I could use more of on a probably hourly, if not minute-to-minute basis, right? I mean, he was a Roman soldier and a very good one at that, which I'm sure took lots of energy and endurance. He was undercover for years within the Roman army. So, having that plan and being steadfast, working towards your plan, I think he's a brilliant example. He also endurance. I mean, not only enduring the immense physical sufferings that he endured, but just the endurance of going about and following God's plan for him. I mean, how many people are sentenced to death twice? That takes incredible energy and endurance, right? And I think the second way that Saint Sebastian can be a brilliant example for us is simply his physical strength. For us, working out is not about getting a bikini body. Fitness is so much more than that. Like, look at Saint Sebastian. He needed to be physically strong to fulfill God's plan in his life. He needed to be physically strong so he could endure that first attempt at martyrdom, right? So he can endure all that time in the Roman army. And there's talks about, him battling the plague, and he was involved in the plague as well. I mean, he had to be physically strong so that he could follow God's plan in his life. And no doubt God played a role in that, in him surviving the arrows, but I think he had a responsibility that he took upon himself too, to be physically fit and strong so that he could answer God's plan. And I think the same is so true of us as moms. I mean, there's no doubt that it takes a lot of physical strength and endurance to, not only care for our families, care for our children, but, to volunteer or take care of, whether it's an aging parent or a friend who's in need right now. Whatever it is, there's a lot of demands on us. And when we are physically strong, it makes us so much more well equipped to be able to offer that support and that love to others. Now, there's a really cool quote by Ray McKenna. He's the president of Catholic Athletes for Christ. And he says that athletes can relate to Saint Sebastian. They say, if he can endure that, I can go the extra mile. I want you guys just to kind of keep that in the back of your mind the next time that you are struggling to find those 30 minutes to go for a walk or to push play and get a workout in. Or, you're eking out that last push-up or that last squat or whatever it might be. Rely on Saint Sebastian for a source of inspiration and strength and energy and endurance, because just as St. Christopher pulled through for us just the other day, I know that St. Sebastian can offer lots of comfort and strength for us as well. Thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys will come back as we look at our next saint that I think can be a great inspiration for us as momletes. Take care. Have a fabulous day.